For nearly 4 years they had evaded death. 3 Jedi, Kyle Varn, a grizzled sentinel, Thalia Wren, a fierce and agile knight, and Jaren Kai, the Padawan who had become so much more, survived the purge that followed Order 66, hardened by war, sharpened by survival. They became ghosts, flickering across the outer rim. Inquisitors hunted them. Bounty hunters bled for the credits on their heads. Clone troopers died by the dozens in their traps. But they endured. Together, they had become something greater than warriors. They were a family, bonded by pain, trust, and fire. And the boy, the Padawan, he was no longer a learner. Jaren had faced death 100 times and met it with courage. He matched his masters in skill, spirit, and heart. But there are forces in the galaxy no amount of courage can withstand. They made camp in a deep quarry, a scar carved into the crust of a forgotten world. A natural fortress, narrow passages, sheer cliffs, only 2 approaches, in or out, motion sensors, mines, the kind of place they'd survived a dozen times before. But this time he came, not a hunter, not a soldier, the darkness itself. Kyle Varn felt it first. A chill that sliced through bone. He stood suddenly, knocking over a ration tin, eyes wide. Thalia looked up from sharpening her blade. Jaren froze, blaster half dismantled in his hands. "What is it?" Thalia asked. Kyle's voice was low, barely a whisper. "He's coming. We've run out of time." They didn't ask who. The presence was unmistakable, a pressure in the air like the breath before a storm. Jaren stood tall, eyes burning with defiance. "Then, we stand together, as we always have. We can defeat him." Kyle looked at him, not with denial but with admiration. Thalia gave the boy a nod, pride softening her features. "I'll meet him in the pit," Kyle said. "You two, take the high ground. Set the charges." They moved instantly, no hesitation, years of drills. This was the final one. Kyle turned to a tarp-covered bench and pulled out a small case. Inside, a smooth yellow mask, the mark of a Jedi sentinel, and a flowing cape the color of sun-swept fields. He held the mask for a moment longer than needed. "No more hiding," he murmured. "If I'm going out, it'll be in style." The mask sealed to his face with a soft hiss. The cape settled around his shoulders like fire, and then he descended into the quarry's basin. Above, sensors screamed in bursts. Mines detonated one after the other in a cascade of thunder. Dust and fire filled the air, but it wasn't enough. He was already here. From the smoke emerged a blade of crimson light, crackling with fury. Then, the shape behind it. Vader, his armor black as obsidian, his presence like a gravitational force, breath mechanical, cold, inevitable. Kale ignited his yellow saber, a soft hum against the storm. "Let's dance," he whispered. Vader approached, calm, relentless. "Your time has ended, Jedi," he said. "You and your friends." Before the last word could fall, 2 shadows leapt from above. Thalia Wren, agile as lightning, flipped through the air, her green saber flashing. Jaren Kai, full of fire, slid down the rock wall in a blur, blue blade raised high. He leapt, straight at Vader's head, but he never landed. Frozen in midair just inches from the black mask, Jaren's eyes widened in shock. Vader hadn't even raised a hand. With a flick of his wrist, the boy was hurled backward like a rag doll, slamming into Thalia mid-flight. Both crashed into the stone with a sickening impact, and Kale was already moving. Yellow clashed with red. Sparks erupted. But Vader didn't flinch. He was a monument of war. Kale struck again and again. Vader stood firm, silent. Then came the push. The force hit Kale like a tidal wave. His body launched through the air, crashing into the quarry wall. Stone cracked. His saber clattered to the ground. Vision blurred. Bones screamed. Through the dust he saw it. Vader, charging. A black meteor. Kale's heart thundered. He had seconds. He did the only thing he could. He screamed, "Run!" And he didn't wait. He slammed his fist on the device on his wrist. The quarry exploded. Flames tore through the basin. Stone shattered. The world went white with fire. Then stillness. Above, Thalia and Jaren stood at the rim, battered, bloodied, blinking through the smoke. "He did it," Thalia whispered. He stopped him. Then the rubble shifted. A tremor. Stone burst outward. A wave of smoke. Vader rose, armor cracked, cape torn, one lens on his mask shattered, revealing just a sliver of red fury beneath. His saber hissed to life again. He was still coming. Thalia and Jaren didn't hesitate. Side by side, they charged down the slope, the last of the Jedi, roaring their defiance. They never stood a chance. It ended in seconds, and when the smoke cleared, only one figure remained standing. Lord Vader. He turned from the quarry, armor scorched, saber hissing, smoke trailing in his wake. He left the world behind, silent, ruined. No Jedi would ever rise from its ashes.